If you're single and dating, you probably know you're either good at flirting with women or you're like many men who aren't quite sure how to flirt without coming across as creepy or stumbling over their words. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Kimberly Hill. I'm a man's life dating and relationship coach, and in today's video, we are going to explore how you can successfully flirt with women and 7 elements you want to keep in mind as you begin to master the art of flirting. Flirting is a social and quite playful behavior that involves you showing your romantic and sexual interest in a woman you find attractive. It is a very common way that you can express your attraction and desire for someone while also creating a connection. Now, flirting can take various forms, including the words you say, our verbal communication, as well as our body language and subtle gestures. Commonly, flirting involves paying a woman compliments using humor, lightly teasing her, all of which is conveying you have an interest in her. Now, flirting can take place in many different settings, such as social gatherings, online dating apps, or even at the workplace. But before I dive into sharing with you 7 tips to help you flirt more successfully, I want to share with you why flirting is an incredibly helpful tool for building connections with women. First and foremost, when we flirt, it is a clear indication that we are expressing our romantic and sexual interests in a woman. And that is an important thing to do, because you want to be sending a signal that you find her attractive and that you are open to exploring a relationship with her. If a woman isn't clear that you are interested in her romantically, she is much less likely to show you interest back. We also flirt because it creates rapport. When we flirt successfully, it builds a playful environment that can help build rapport and establish a connection. It also moves your conversations away from something very serious to a conversation that is more fun and lighthearted, and that demonstrates you're interested in getting to know her better and you're having fun in this conversation with her. The positivity that you bring to the interaction is going to do a lot for your ability to connect and leave a lasting impression. And when you can create a memorable and lasting impression on a woman, I guarantee you she will be thinking about you after the interaction has ended. Flirting also builds that attraction, so when you flirt successfully, it can create tension, anticipation, and excitement that can deepen your connection and increase the mutual interest. You can all probably recognize a scene in a Hollywood movie where a man and a woman are flirting with each other. At dinner, he might reach his hand onto the table and lightly touch her knee, and you can see that this is having a physical impact on the woman with whom he is with. She might start breathing more heavily, her blood pressure might increase, her heart starts to beat faster, and she ultimately gets hot. Now, this is because flirting with you is turning her on. It's also going to demonstrate your confidence. When you're able to flirt successfully, it displays that you have good social skills, you're self-assured, and you're not afraid to put yourself out there, which can ultimately make you more appealing to a woman. And lastly, contrary to popular belief, flirting can actually build comfort and trust between you and a woman, as long as you maintain a comfortable and safe space for communication. If a woman knows that you're interested yet also approachable, it can put her more at ease, because women also get nervous when communicating with men they find attractive. So how can you begin to improve your ability to communicate and flirt successfully with women? Tip number 1. The first is by working. Tip number 1. Working on your self-confidence. On your self-confidence, everybody talks about how confidence is an attractive character trait and can make a significant impact when you are communicating and flirting with women. Confidence in this respect means you are self-assured in your approach, that you are maintaining appropriate body posture and body language, and you're not afraid to make eye contact. The alternative is a Man who fumbles a little bit doesn't hold himself high, he looks away from attractive women, all signaling to her that he's not quite sure of himself and he's not quite sure what he's doing and he's not sure he's worth her time. So, first and foremost, if you want to begin successfully flirting to attractive women, you have to work on your own self-confidence. This means you have to believe that you are capable of having great conversations. You have to like who you are, and you have to be willing to make mistakes and learn from them. Tip number 2. Now the second point to flirting more successfully with women. Tip number 2. Make sure you are listening actively to her. Is making sure you are listening actively to her. Listening is so much more than simply hearing the words that someone is saying. It means that you are fully engaged in the conversation, and that means you're asking good follow-up questions, nodding at appropriate times, and responding to her thoughtfully. For example, if she's sharing a story with you about a place that she has traveled recently, you're going to ask her questions such as, what made you want to travel to that country? This way you're demonstrating that you value what she is saying and you're interested to hear more. Tip number 3. Another tip too. Tip number 3. Inject a good sense of humor into the conversation. Keep in mind is to inject a good sense of humor. How can you make her laugh? Women adore men that can make them laugh, and men adore women who laugh at their jokes, and you don't need to be a stand-up comedian to gain a good sense of humor. You can use light-hearted jokes and just a little witty banter, or try teasing her playfully. Now, if you're unfamiliar with witty banter, it includes mild sarcasm, little bits of self-deprecating humor, playful teasing, and sometimes even goofy responses. So if you're teasing her, you might say something like, I have a sneaky suspicion that you're a troublemaker, or you have a very mischievous look in your eye, or I bet you're pretty used to breaking hearts. Now, I actually have a funny memory of a man flirting with me as I was going through the airport. Now I am under no illusion that this is a line he used on every woman he found attractive coming through the security line. But as he handed me back my bag, after it had been scanned by the X-ray, he looked at me and said that I looked explosive. It made me chuckle, and of course I went about my day. But it's little playful comments like that can inject a little bit of flirtatious tone to any conversation you are having. Now, if you struggle with playful comments and banter consistently, learning new things is going to be the secret to engaging in better conversation. The more you can broaden your perspective, relate to other people, and learn to exchange insightful remarks, bantering and flirting will become easier for you. The truth is, if you lead a boring life, it will ultimately lead to boring conversations. So the more well-versed you are, the more well-read you are, the more you engage in a wide variety of life experiences, the more fun and easy you're going to have in conversations. Now, tip number 4. Tip number 4. Compliment her sincerely. Fourth tip to successfully flirting with women is to compliment her sincerely. Many of us hold back compliments because we think that we might be overdoing it or coming across as needy, but when you're offering a sincere compliment, it will make a woman feel appreciated and noticed. Now, in order to actually share a good compliment, you'll want to focus on specific qualities or attributes that you generally find attractive in her. Women tend to appreciate compliments such as "you're beautiful" or "I find you attractive," but she will also really appreciate compliments about her smile or her intelligence, of her great sense of style. So you want to separate yourself from the other men that are complimenting her. So find something that is unique about her or is unique about the conversation you're having and focus on paying a sincere compliment about this. A unique compliment might be something along the lines of "you have a really beautiful elegance that is very incredibly attractive to me," or "I really admire your ambition and drive," or "I really love your Sense of style, you stand out so much in this crowded room, or one of my personal favorites is you're really different from the other women I've met. That last one usually go down a pretty good tree, and it makes her feel completely separate from other women you may or may not have spoken with now. Remember that when you give a compliment, it's incredibly important that it is genuine, specific, and sincere, and when you do this well, it will help foster a positive connection between you and the woman that you're complimenting. Don't hold back on compliments, just don't make it the only conversation you're having. Tip number 5. Be mindful of your body language. Tip number 5. The 5th tip is to be mindful of your body language. Now, different studies will share different percentages, but research on body language done by Albert Moravian found that communication is 55 nonverbal, 38 vocal, meaning your tone of voice, and 7% words. So if you're smooth with your words but your tone and body language is off, 7% is not going to get you very far with an attractive woman. So you want to be mindful and pay attention to your body language and make sure it is conveying openness and interest. This means you are facing her directly, you have an open posture, you're standing in a relaxed way, and you lean in slightly during the conversation, but not so much that you cross a barrier of personal space. You don't want to have your arms crossed, be slouching, be fidgeting, be standing too close to her, or have a lack of facial expressions and failing to mirror and synchronize the nonverbal hues of the woman you're chatting with. Let's talk a moment about mirroring. Mirroring refers to the subtle imitation of someone else's body language, their body posture, their facial expressions, and their vocal tone. It means that you are synchronizing your nonverbal cues with the other person to establish rapport and create a good connection. When we do this well, it helps to create a sense of familiarity and similarity between individuals. So if you're talking to an attractive woman and she's using a, you want to match that load of expressed depressive tone of voice is kind of put you two-way out of sync. So if you're talking to an attractive woman and she loves to use lots of hand gestures like I do, yet when you speak you have your arms hanging straight and not moving next to your body, that's going to put you at the same. So make sure that you are subtly mirroring her body language, because this is going to enhance your likability and create a sense of familiarity, which is really important to establishing trust and safety in that conversation, and it's going to allow you to get to know her. This is why I often suggest going for a walk on a date when you're both walking at a similar pace, heading in the same direction, and using a similar tone of voice. You'll create a sense of familiarity and trust that often has people saying it sounds like we've already known each other for years. Tip number 6. Incorporate some subtle yet flirty gestures. Number 6. The 6th tip to keep in mind successfully flirting with women is to incorporate some subtle yet flirty gestures to create a sense of attraction. Now, this might look like light touches on her arm, her shoulder, or her back during a conversation. It could be smiling and making eye contact. It could be leaning in closer, or things like lightly nudging her arm or shoulder to show comfort and familiarity, or perhaps, if the setting is right, it's even touching a woman's hair that has fallen in her face and lightly tucking it behind her ear. Now, these are the things that you're going to incorporate into your flirtatious conversations once you have gotten the sense that there is some connection and trust established between you. If you try and touch her or brush her hair behind her ear the second you meet her, you will likely scare her off. This is why you have to be very in touch with her body language to get a sense of whether she is comfortable and happy to be in that conversation. Remember that our body language is 55% of our communication, so be mindful of this as you interact. Tip number 7. The last tip to keep in. Tip number 7. Make sure you're practicing good hygiene and a good sense of style. Mind is to make sure you're practicing good hygiene and a good sense of style. When you take care of your appearance, that ultimately conveys to a woman that you value yourself and you value other people around you. Make sure you are dressing well, you are grooming properly, and you're maintaining good personal hygiene. Pick out a cologne that works for you, but make sure not to overdo it. Find a hairstyle that makes you feel attractive and invest in a good wardrobe so that when you are out and about, living your life, you feel a sense of pride in who you are and how you are presenting yourself to the world. When it comes to hygiene, there are little subtle things that women will pick up on that you might not even think about. For example, if your nails have dirt under them, this could be a quick turnoff for a woman when she sees you reach your hand onto her cleanly shaven leg. So make sure that you maintain good personal hygiene and keep yourself clean too. Foster comfort when you practice subtle, flirty gestures or get close to her. Carrying around a pack of gum or breath mints will do you wonders if you're about to approach a woman in a pinch after you've had lunch. Now, perhaps this is common knowledge for many of you. It's a good reminder that your appearance demonstrates the way you feel about yourself and translates very quickly into the impression you make with an attractive woman. So there you have it. 7 tips to help you flirt more successfully with women. I hope you've taken away some amazing value from today's video, and if you have, please consider hitting the like button, dropping a comment below, and subscribing for more videos just like this one. Thank you.